Microphone check. 1 2 1 2 1 2. Woo! We on fire tonight, y'all. So on fire, your boy Heaven Hollywood. Heaven Hollywood Experience. Sunday night. My daughter's birthday, which is July 26th. Shout out to all of the Leos in the building. I'm your host, Heaven Hollywood. It's the Heaven Hollywood Experience. And we're going to get into some things tonight. I don't even know if I'm going to do an intro. I don't know if I'll even do an intro tonight, y'all. I might show y'all a quick preview, though. Put a 1 in the chat if y'all can hear me. I might show y'all a quick preview of our teaser for our new app called Views. Our new Views app. You know what I'm saying? So, might show you that. Let's see here. So put a 1 in the chat. Let me see the building. What's up, Purple Flowers in the building? In the building. We over on Twitch. How's Pay's birthday? Oh my God, it was tiring. So tiring. All these damn little girls running around. And then I had to watch over her. She had a pool party, a pool birthday party with all her besties. So she's gonna settle down now, though. So that's a good thing. Couple of things I want to get into. Trump dissing Nicki Minaj. Of course, the Nicki Minaj fans will say that it's not a diss, but they will pretty much laughing at her, talking about, oh, when they said get down, Nicki Minaj started twerking. And she's the only one who knew what that meant. So when they said get down, she started twerking. I'm like, how is that? You know, whatever, man. Like, you know, people say, oh, you get on Nicki Minaj too much, so I'm just going to let y'all decide. Y'all can decide when we go over that story whether that was a diss or not. If y'all don't feel it was a diss, it wasn't a diss. I ain't arguing with y'all fools no more. It is whatever y'all think it is. All right. Chris Brown pleads guilty to that case over there in London. Now the whole thing is going to be whether Chris Brown is going to do any jail time. I know he pled to like a lesser charge, but in October he'll be sentenced. So hopefully Chris don't got to do no jail time. But you know, these things keep happening. You keep on getting involved in these cases, and eventually they're going to lock your black ass up. Now, Chris Brown was able to escape. Shout out to everybody on Shout out to everybody on Twitch and on Twitter. Now, Chris Brown has been able to escape these things, man. But at the end of the day, there's an old saying, oh, so you don't believe fat meat greasy. At some point, they're going to have to make you know or let you know that fat meat is greasy. All right? So Chris Brown just keeps on tempting the hands of fate. Hey, Kenji, I text you to see if you arrived safely. Did you get my text? Text to see if you arrived safely. So, you know, at some point, Chris Brown, man, is going to have to chill. We're going to talk about that. We're also going to talk about this thing that's a controversy now. Usher. And I'm going to let y'all know why I think social media is causing this. I think people are seeing Usher on social media. They're starting to make all these comments about, oh, Usher is just cringe. It's just cringe when he do it. But they have no problem with Chris Brown. Chris Brown is kissing chicks on the mouth. He kissing chicks with tongue. He licking them on the side of their body. And these girls have no problem with Chris Brown. But Usher is cringe. Say, oh, because Usher's older and Usher's in his 40s and married. That ain't got shit to do with it. Got shit to do with Chris Brown. Y'all act like Chris Brown 25. Chris Brown is kicking 40's door down himself. But I think that girls seeing things like this on social media prompted this girl to respond the way she did to Usher. Now, my thing is this. If you're going to get up there and try to embarrass Usher, stay your black ass in your seat. What you going up there for if you're not into Usher? Then why are you accepting him bringing you on stage? You know what they do when they bring you on stage. We're going to talk about that too. We got to talk about, I'll get into my girl, maybe. My girl, Gloria Govan. Hey, Glo. Looks like she has left Derek Fisher. You get him how you lose. You lose him how you get him, I guess, Derek. We're going to get an update, a real update. So Usher's wife at the performance. After the performance, we'll see. Maybe it was staged. She said, oh, you don't look like you want to be on stage. That's what he said on stage. So I don't know. You know, maybe because she knew Usher's wife. I really don't know. All I know is this. Why now y'all, how come y'all don't do that to Chris Brown? How come y'all don't do that to Chris Brown? Why you got to make Usher seem like, oh, girls don't want to be bothered with Usher? Why don't you stage something like that for Chris Brown? Like, why don't you stage one of these men who've been complaining, run on stage and start fighting Chris Brown? That'd be nice to stage. But why now it has to be Usher trying to make it seem like all girls don't really want? Then I see girls in the comments, oh, she didn't want to catch the herp. Well, if Usher got herpes, I'm sure Chris Brown got herpes too. Almost everybody in the damn industry got herpes. They all pass the same girls around. You know what I'm saying? You'll tell me Chris Brown, those girls don't come up on that stage with no doctor's note. All them girls he done kissed on the lips and rubbed his skin against, you gonna tell me ain't none of them had nothing? You don't know that. These women are starting to piss me off. If you don't want to be up on the stage with Usher or Chris Brown, whatever, don't take your ass up there because you know what's going to happen once you get up there. You're going to be doing simulated sex. They're going to be touching on you. They're going to be kissing on you. So when you get up there, don't look surprised. Also, there's a guy named Eric Jackson who's talking about Jack Dorsey, the title deal. And he got into the whole Nicki Minaj saying they owe $100 million. We're going to talk about that as well. What else? Drake and Cardi B. Let me see. Drake and Cardi B Will there be a collaboration? Will there finally be a collaboration between Drake and Cardi B? All right. Tasha K is back in the mix again. Also, the whole Millie situation with Megan Thee Stallion. Oh, we're going to get a Diddy update as well. We're going to get a real Diddy update. Because this guy's going around saying they got the real information instead of the third. Shout out to all them, but I spoke to somebody who spoke to someone in prison, in that prison. And I'm gonna take them as credible. They speak to someone who is locked up with Diddy and said they see Diddy every day. And they said they have the true story. All right. I know everybody says that they got the true story. But we're going to go over to, I'm going to get my source because I believe them the most. All right. They have no reason to lie to me. The person that they have in Fort Dix has no reason to lie. All right. So we got all that to talk about when we come back. The Heaven Hollywood Experience. The boy Heaven Hollywood, man. So without further ado. Let's get to this thing, man. Heaven Hollywood Experience.
Gotta get to see something. Look, one way or another, we gon' get our family up about the gutter. Brother, you was out of pocket, no I didn't stutter. I drop it back in the trap when investing in the streets, you treasure recover. In this world, you could only rep one or two things that come to the butter. Whoa, you only rep one or two things with the guns and the butter. Whoa, you only rep one or two things with the guns and the butter. I drop it back in the trap when investing in the streets, you treasure recover. In this world, you could only rep one or two things that come to the butter. Sleeping patterns kinda complicated, ain't no time for wasting, we some entrepreneurs. I'm feeling like Scarface on top of the balcony, the wood is yours.
New York in the building,
let's go. I was down bad. Napoleon complex, I'm mad, about to put the cam up in the clap bag. Sign sealed and delivered. Chicken dinners, so you roll with the winners. Taking over for the summer. I double back for the winner. I be with the scammers and spinners. Innovators in the middleman. All my riders got a dental plan. None of my shooters got Instagrams. Bang bang. Got some bridge headed out of bounds. Had to hop in the renty to ride around. About to switch up the whisk cause they stalking now. Whispering body dropping on my side of town. Flick of finesse, known to stay up out the mess. Business is never personal. We can politic the rest. I got a plug and he made me a plug. All my moves on they need to know. Rapper weed got me speaking slow. Bet you pay attention when we speaking up. You would drown, you gon' sink or you swim. In the field, we be getting it in. Type of pressure that took boys and the men. Fly got a family back at it again. Yeah. One way or another, we gon' get our family up about the gutter. Brother, you was out of pocket, no I didn't stutter. I drop it back in the trap when investing in the streets, you treasure recover. In this world, you could only rep one or two things that come to the butter. Whoa, you only rep one or two things with the guns and the butter. Whoa, you only rep one or two things with the guns and the butter. I drop it back in the trap when investing in the streets, you treasure recover. In this world.
It's your boy, Heaven Hollywood. Heaven Hollywood Experience. And we're back at it again. Sunday night. Happy Sunday night to everybody. July 26th, 2026. Already halfway through the year. Years flying. Time waits for no man. All right? Remember that. Time waits for no man. So let's get into some of these topics for the night. Hold on, let me start off with the Usher joint. All right, I couldn't even watch it because this was like cringe to me. So Usher's getting praised by a lot of people because he tend to now. I know Kenji said she thinks it was staged because she said she later on saw this woman talking. This one talking to Usher's wife. Usher told her. Usher said, come on off the stage," which is smart in his case because he don't want to be catching no $1 million charge talking about, oh, he forced it on me.
I don't think she want to be on the stage.
So that was this chick right here. And Usher pretty much said, I'm glad Usher caught the vibe and was able to see that she wasn't really with it. So that way later on, there can be no lawsuits talk about, oh yeah, he forced himself on me, this, and the third. She was laying herself down. If you don't want to be on that stage, listen, this is not forced upon you. It's not forced upon you. If you don't want to be up here to get humped on, kissed on, licked on, you already know what goes down when you come up here. When Usher or Chris Brown pulls you up here, more than likely you're getting humped on, right? You're getting felt up. They're gonna rub that shoot. Chris Brown be rubbing their hands across their pussy. Turn around, smacking them on the ass as he's gyrating, simulated sex. Most of these girls are throwing it back at him. And I guarantee you 60 to 70% of these women are either in a relationship or married because they niggas probably the one that bought them the tickets. Them tickets are expensive. They niggas probably the one who bought them the ticket. All right. What's up, Madison Mosley? Thank you for joining me. Where y'all be at? So, my thing is, don't try Usher. Usher, that's my guy. He is a legend. Don't try to embarrass a legend. If you ain't gonna do that to Chris Brown, if you would rather have been picked by Chris Brown, well, guess what? You should have let Chris Brown pick you. You should have made yourself noticeable so Chris Brown would pick you. Right? But what they're seeing is they're starting to see people on social media. I said 45 years old. Oh, this cringe. Oh, this, that, and the other. Talk about some cringe. So if Usher pull you on stage, you ain't doing nothing? I swear these girls be so full of shit. They make me sick. So if Usher pulls you on stage, you ain't gonna do nothing. You gonna say, "Oh no, he 45. I ain't doing nothing with him. He's married. His wife is sitting up there. She obviously don't have a problem with it." You know what I'm saying? If his wife ain't worried about it, why are you worried about him being married? And his wife be sitting there and she don't even be saying nothing. She be sitting there watching him. She be sitting there watching him. So my thing is, do you think that this was a classy move by Usher, Or do you think the girl show, it's kudos to the girl for not going for what all the other girls are going for? So y'all can let me know that down in the comments, even for the replay people, for people that's on the replay. Did you think that it was classy on her part, or it was classy on Usher's part for realizing, thank you, for realizing that this girl wasn't really with it? Y'all can let me know down in the comments. All right. Let's move on. Eric Jackson, I want to talk about the Nicki Minaj part. And then we'll circle back. So he was talking about, this Eric Jackson guy was talking about this whole thing with Nicki Minaj and Roc Nation. And he was talking about the deal for Tidal. Okay. He put down here, Jack Dorsey bought Jay-Z's Tidal for $297 million. Everybody knows that number. The SEC filing said he paid $233 million for 86.8% of a company worth less than half its 2017 price. 16 artists launched it as owners. The paperwork names exactly one of them and gives him a board seat. And of course, that name is Sean Carter. Yep. Well, let's see. So let's go on that part. I'm going to take over from there, and then we'll pick it up.
Named Larry Jackson, who's now the head of Gamma. I'm not going to tell you the terms because those weren't ever made public. But if you look at where the two roads led,
let's start with Drake.
Produced was, quote, fabricated, and tell you who was right. I'm telling you that there was one documented recoupable advance belonging to the Prince's deal, and a never adjudicated fight over Prince's equity is how, quote, recoupable leaked into the folklore about everyone else's. And notice who was not on the stage at all: Drake, the defining artist of the streaming decade, biggest artist at the time. And by reports, he was supposed to be up there with them on that stage with the other Tidal artists. He wasn't not. And a few months later, he went the other way entirely. An exclusive deal with Apple Music put together by an executive named Larry Jackson, who's now the head of Gamma. I'm not going to tell you the terms because those weren't ever made public. But if you look at where the two roads led, you can see that the artists who stood there as owners got minority paper behind someone else's option. Drake never took the pitch, kept his own lane, and by any measure, it worked out for him. The biggest artist of the era, some would say still today, looked at the ownership offer and passed. Which brings us to Nicki, because her posts are primary sources and the math is checkable on them. She says she was offered $1 million and told that she had 24 hours to sign. Stout says that she never signed the paperwork and left millions on the table. But notice something here. Those stories aren't.
So you can already tell whose side he's on by the way he addresses them. He's saying Nicki like they're on a personal level. But when he's talking about Steve Stout, who said she never signed the paperwork, He says Stout. He doesn't even say his name. So you can already tell that this guy, no matter, I don't even need to hear whatever else he's going to say, because I already know from right here he's going to be on the side of Nicki Minaj. You see how he just praised Drake. So I'm going to assume that this guy is an OVO fan, a Drake fan, a Nicki fan, and he doesn't like Jay. So he says, "Oh, leads us to Nicki." Her name's Nicki Minaj, and you don't know her. You probably don't know her, but you know they develop these parasocial relationships with these celebrities, and they start calling them like Nicki, and people who do it with Whitney Houston call her Nippy. You're not supposed to call Whitney Houston Nippy if you don't know her. I never call them by their nicknames if I don't know them. Like I don't call Aaliyah baby girl. That's what the people who know her called her. But these parasocial weirdo fans, they think because they go on a social media account and can see their pictures and can sometimes DM and talk to them, they think they know them. So, which leads us to Nicki. Her name's Nicki Minaj. You don't know her. Her name's Nicki Minaj. Right? Or rest in peace, Nippy. You don't call Whitney Houston Nippy if you don't know her. If you're not a good friend of hers. If you wasn't a good friend of hers, why are you calling her Nippy? That's not for the public to call her. These weirdo ass fans. And this is what this guy's giving me. But I'm gonna hear what he has to say.
Aren't actually incompatible. An unperfected stake, equity promised but never papered, is exactly the kind of position that produces a discounted take it or leave it offer when the company sells. And her bigger number, the 100 million to 200 million, she's called a karmic debt, run every valuation that has ever existed against a 3% stake. 9 million at the press price, 8 million at the filed price, 5 million to 6 million after dilution, 18 million at the absolute sprint round peak. There is no arithmetic path to get to $100 million. Her own word for it, karmic, is honest. It's a moral number, not a mechanical one. The mechanical number at its best moment in history was $18 million. And by the way, the one deal decision of hers that is documented in 2009 press release is that she kept all her 360 rights, touring, merch, endorsements, when she signed as an artist. The woman knew how to protect a position, which makes the title Paperwork Story, whichever version that you believe, the exception that proves the discipline. So here's what that means for you, the takeaway. And it's basically one sentence with 3 clauses. Equity you cannot exit is not money. Paper you never signed is not equity. And a press release is not a filing. Every one of those 16 people on that stage with Tidal in 2015 was worth more than the thing that they were celebrating. And the ones who treated the stakes as a marketing moment rather than a position, which structurally is what it was, read it correctly. When someone offers you ownership in anything, a startup, a small business, your cousin's venture, you need to ask 3 questions that this episode just taught you. What exactly do I own? What forces anyone to ever buy it from me? And where is it written down? If the answers are vague, you were not given ownership. You were given a photo op. So the story here is 10 years of shouting, and the answer was sitting in something called a 10K. This is Event Horizon IQ. The full written breakdown on Substack with the filings themselves is going to be up on eventhorizoниq.substack.com and the link in the bio. If you're watching this on the YouTube channel, please click on the bell, because that's how you make sure you get one of these updates every day. It's always the same method every day. You show up, you put in the work, you make that investment in yourself. If reading this kind of paperwork instead of just headline gossip is your kind of thing, I'd suggest you subscribe, and I'm going to see you on the next.
All right. So what he's basically saying is Jay-Z, from what I'm getting from what he's saying, is that Jay-Z, not illegally, but unethically, screwed everybody except himself. Now, my whole thing to that is, If that's the case, why does Madonna still mess with him? Why does Rihanna still mess with him? Why does Usher still mess with him? Why do these people still mess with Jay-Z if what this guy is saying is true? I'm not saying it's not true. Like, I don't know the ins and outs of streaming deals and stuff like that, right? That's before my time. I'm an old head. When I was in the industry, we were just dealing with record sales, CD sales, because that's what we were dealing with. I wasn't in the whole streaming thing. Like, when streaming rolled around, I wasn't even in record industry stuff anymore. I moved on to pretty much opening my own media company. So I pretty much got out of the music business when streaming was just starting. Right around the time that Napster got in that trouble, right? I was like, okay, I'm gonna move over to ESPN. You know what I mean? So like that. So I can't tell you whether this guy is telling the truth or not. Let's take a look at. I don't know what some of these comments are saying. Let's see. Now, I commented to him, was like, okay, so I seen a comment there. I said, oh, so, you know, I was into it because I'm thinking that maybe he is an objective person. But then when I hear the way he's talking, saying Nicki, saying Stout, you know what I mean? And then he's in there saying, oh, you must be a J stan or something like that. And I'm like, okay, so you're a J hater. All right, well, that takes a little bit less.
Everyone remembers the headline. Jack Dorsey.
That takes a little bit less credibility from you, in my opinion, if you're using like Twitter lingo and stuff like that. Okay. You must be a J fan, like. Because I don't like the fact that you just regurgitated AI slop and did no real journalism, or at least take the time to change the verbiage around. The fact that it's so low effort is bothering. I could give a F about any of the people you're reporting on, truly. That's what people are doing now. ChatGPT. What's going on with XYZ and Open? Twitter, but not what does Jay-Z know about just banking? I was even called a racist. All these artists they listening was probably worth it for Dorsey. All right, so let's see. Again, my whole thing is this. According to hip-hop conspiracy fans, because he put the same spell on Rihanna that he used on Beyonce. Okay, and what is that spell? Because he got with Beyonce in what, 2005, 2006. So he used the spell. He was using the spell way back then. He wasn't even that rich back then. So he got with Beyonce in 2005, 2006, when they started dating. He wasn't even that rich back then. So what spell, Kenji, and the hip-hop conspiracy, what spell is this? What is this, like voodoo or a love spell? What spell did he put on Beyonce way back then? AI gets information from postings that include social media and YouTube, so I don't know why people rely on it so heavily. You know, I don't really follow hip hop conspiracy. Like I see them on Twitter or whatever, but now Jay-Z's casting spells. I don't know what type of spell he had on Beyonce way back then. You know, you could always say now, oh, it's the money because he's a billionaire, whatever. But he wasn't no billionaire back then. And they said he put a spell on Rihanna. Why do they think he has a spell on Rihanna? I don't get it. So did he put a spell on Madonna too? Because Madonna still messes with him. Did he put a spell on Usher? I was asking if Jay-Z, if what he did, right, rob people of money, why would Usher just walk on that stage and perform with him and dap him up? Wouldn't Usher be a little upset that, yo, you played me, I put my stuff on Tidal? If what this guy is saying is true, and I don't know that it is, I don't know that is it. I don't know what. Oh no, I know you're not saying it, Kenji. I'm saying, what do they? I was trying to ask if they mentioned what type of spell he's supposed to put on these people, because Usher is a pretty smart businessman. You know, he's worth $100 million or maybe more than that. And if Jay-Z pretty much scammed him or shammed him, well, scamming means you got tricked out of money. No, they got tricked out of money. A sham is what they would have called this. False advertisement, and you didn't get what they said you would get. That's a sham. A scam is when you lose money. A binding spell? Oh, okay. So he put a spell on them. I guess they're saying he put a spell on them, right? And that's why they still in binding. So I guess that spell didn't work on Doja Cat, huh? Because Doja Cat left, right? And Rihanna, people want, they say that Rihanna is under spell. How about Rihanna's like, hey, this dude helped make me a billionaire. Why would I leave? You know, if somebody helped make me a billionaire, right? If someone helped make me a billionaire, why would I leave them? You know what I'm saying? So because leaving his management company, she probably feels as though if he signed me he signed me and changed my life, right? He signed me and changed my life. Why would I fire him as a management company if he's helped make me into a billionaire, right? I don't believe she becomes a billionaire without the guidance of Jay-Z and Roc Nation. I just don't. Maybe she'll be, multimillionaire, but you have to remember, she was put in a place to become a billionaire because of her notoriety coming out of Roc Nation. So we don't even know if Rihanna would have ever made it big. You know how many more talented people there is than Rihanna? We don't know whether it was Jay-Z and Roc Nation that was like, you know what? Remember when she came out, she was kind of like a reggae type artist. It was Jay-Z that said, we're going to go a different direction. Roc Nation was like, we're going to go a different direction with her. We're going to go the pop route. It was them that decided that. If Rihanna didn't have the guidance of Jay-Z and Roc Nation, she may have came in and just tried to be a reggae artist. And it may not have worked out the way it worked out for her. Right? Did Jay-Z invest in Kanye's businesses like he did Rihanna? No, Jay-Z didn't invest in Kanye's business because Jay-Z was just invested in Kanye's music career. As far as Kanye's clothing and stuff like that, no. Jay-Z may not have believed in Kanye's clothing. Hell, he didn't believe in him as an artist. So Jay-Z may have said, no, them clothes is ugly. I don't believe in it. You know, everybody is not going to hit on everything. He even admitted that even on his 444 album, he admitted that he turned down some apartments in Dumbo. He turned them down, and now they're worth like triple of what he could have bought it for. And he said, and now I feel like a Dumbo. So sometimes it don't always hit. You know what I'm saying? You don't always believe in what they're doing. So Kanye, he may have said, look at my Yeezys. Jay, I got this idea. I got these boots. They look like galoshes. Hear me out. Hear me out. They look like galoshes. But they're regular boots. And Jay might be like, I don't know about that. You know, so Jay, man, thought that shit ain't, I'm not really with it. So just because, you know, him and Kanye calling each other brothers, this, and the third, that don't mean that he is going to like all of his ideas. Because like I said, Jay didn't even like Kanye as a rapper. Dame Dash signed Kanye as the rapper. Jay just wanted him to do beats. You know? I mean, hell, look at Warner Brothers, who literally threw Destiny's Child's demo in the garbage. Threw it in the garbage. He was going on what he saw on TV and said, y'all couldn't even finish first on Star Search. So why would I sign the people that came in third? I'm trying to sign the people that came in first. The people that came in first didn't do shit. But Beyonce and Destiny's Child came in third. When they went and gave their tape to Warner Brothers, the dude who was at Warner Brothers threw their shit in the garbage. Then 7 years later, guy called him up like, hey, you remember that group? Wasn't even 7 years later, a few years later, when she did the no, 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 no. Remember that group that came here, the girl, the Carter girl, I mean, not the Nose girl? That group, Destiny Child? Yeah, what about it? What'd you do with their demo? Guy said, I do what I do with all the demos. I threw in the garbage. So he pretty much exposed that they wasn't even really listening to demos and they was throwing people shit in the garbage. And he said, well, she's on the radio right now and she got a smash hit and she signed to Columbia. Everybody said that dude should have been fired. But again, sometimes you miss. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you miss. It's no different than in sports. It's no different in sports. Tom Brady got drafted when? 7th round? All them quarterbacks that went ahead of Tom Brady, because they were looking at Tom Brady in the combine, and they were like, damn, he can't jump. His body, he's built like a pear. He's not fast. His arm is okay. He don't have the greatest arm, but it's pretty good. So they were like, we're going to draft him 7th. All those quarterbacks that went ahead of Tom Brady, most of them didn't even stay in the league 10 years. They didn't stay in the league 5 years. And this guy ends up to be the greatest quarterback that ever lived. Now imagine all them teams now that think back to, damn, we passed up Tom Brady. We could have had Tom Brady on our team for all those years. God knows we probably would have won a Super Bowl or 2. But that's what happens. Sometimes you miss. You know? Sometimes you miss. You know? A lot of these actors and stuff have different, Drake got turned down by plenty of them. So did Jay-Z. Jay-Z got turned down by almost every record label. He said he had to start his own label because nobody wanted to sign him. You gotta have strength yourself. So let me see something here. So let me get this real Diddy update. Let's see. Oh my God! Now somebody got accused of abusing Jennifer Lopez. Look, man, y'all need to stop this. You got other people coming to my he's abusing Jennifer Lopez. Jennifer Lopez didn't come out and said nothing. Like, they got to start suing these people, man. Jennifer Lopez didn't come out and say he abused her. You know what I'm saying? Let's see. We got a podcast with Soul. He had an update today. Right? So remember what I told y'all before about Tisa Tells and these people. So somebody brought up to me this guy. I don't know I forgot what his name is. I've seen him before. But he was saying that first-hand information. So let's go to this video right here. Let's go to
the big grand sale is on now. It's
okay. So we're gonna find the dude who said he had the drop on Diddy. Right? So I believe Podcast with Soul actually plays that video. All right. So let's get into it. Now, I speak to Podcast with Soul when it comes down to Diddy stuff, only because I know he has an inside track inside the prison. How do I know that? I just know that. Trust me. Trust me, I can't mention who the guy's name is because I don't want to throw him under the bus. But trust me, this guy has someone inside the prison, all right? Now, there were stories coming out about Diddy is kicked out of the program. Diddy's done. He was smoking cigarettes or some sort of cell phone violation or something like that, right? But the Podcast with Soul, let's tell you what he said. And this is first-hand information because, we'll say second-hand because he got it from his Inside Connect.
All right, y'all. So I just trust me.
Wait, so now TMZ and everybody else are posting a story about Diddy in solitary confinement that I dropped last night. They late, but they don't even got the whole story. Let me tell you the whole story. It's crazy. Now, last night, if you follow me, you already knew about this, but now everybody talking about it. Let me tell you what happened with Diddy. They're saying that it was a fight, but nobody knows what the fight is over except me. The fight that Diddy got into it with one of the inmates that got him put in the hole was over two things: cigarettes and cell phones. Let me explain. First, the cigarette. Of course, yeah, people say, well, you could have cigarettes in Fort Dix and all that. Yeah, but you can't smoke in certain areas. And what did he do? He smoked in an area where other inmates were at and got in trouble by the officials. And guess what that caused? That caused the prison officials to lock down that area and search the area. When they searched that area, they found 3 cell phones. Now, I can't confirm for sure if one of those cell phones is Diddy. They said it was or not, but one of those cell phones was for sure the inmate that Diddy ended up fighting. The inmate got pissed at Diddy because he was smoking in that area and got everybody in trouble and got his cell phone took, so they got to fight. Now, if you listen to TMZ and the rest of the blogs who don't get it, who don't have the information, they just say the guy dissed Diddy. Now, it's deeper than that. So as a result of being put in the hole, they have zero tolerance of fighting. Diddy is kicked out of that program and will be doing his whole sentence. Make sure you follow me if you want to know what the hell going on, because they taking my stories and they giving me credit, and I don't like it. What if I told you? Wait, so now
All right, man. Baby, you got me?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so look. I did federal prison time, and cigarettes is considered contraband. It was not allowed on the compound. You were not allowed to smoke tobacco. They did not sell tobacco on the commissary, and you could not smoke cigarettes. There was no designated area where you could smoke cigarettes. I did my time at FCI Morgantown in Morgantown, West Virginia. I don't know about Fort Dix, if there's a designated area where you can smoke cigarettes. There may not be. But I doubt that the BOP would have different rules for different prisons. Usually with the BOP, they lay a rule down and it's across the country. Number 2, I spoke to somebody that worked with Puff at Daddy's studio. Puff didn't smoke cigarettes, and there was a no cigarette smoking policy implemented at Puffy's studios, the Daddy's house. Number 2. Number 3, Puff is still in the shoe. Number 4, a determination has not been made whether he is kicked out of the program or still in the program. No decision has been made. Was that number 5? This would be number 5. Number 5. Did I just get off the phone with a nigga?
Yes.
I just got off the phone speaking to somebody inside Fort Dix, an inmate. Not gonna tell you his name. Sean. 3 niggas went to the shoe. Puff, the nigga Puff grabbed, and there was another nigga from New York that saw Puffy grab my man. The dude was up in Puffy's face. The dude's been sweating Puff. And
imagine being able to build an app with your name on it just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44.
Got up in Puffy's face. Puff grabbed him. They had a tussling match. Another nigga from New York swung on the nigga from North Carolina, missed him. They broke it up. All 3 got sent to the shoe. That is from an inside source at FCI Fort Dix where this went down. It did not, as this guy, I don't even know this dude's name, it did not take place outside in some designated cigarette smoking area. It was inside the building, inside RDAP. We don't know what's going to happen. RDAP, the RDAP program is very, very strict. It definitely was where I did my time at FCI Morgantown. Niggas would get kicked out of the RDAP program all of the time for various reasons. Is fighting a reason you can get kicked out of the RDAP program? Absolutely. Getting drunk, getting high, whatever, getting caught with a cell phone. Huh? Okay. Yes, that will get you kicked out of the program. What's up, man?
All right, so now I'm gonna go to this video. Sorry about that, guys. So now I'm going to go to a video from today. All right. Now he did a follow-up video for. All right, and here we go. Y'all can still hear me? Put a 1 in the chat if y'all can still hear me. We get into details. We break it down to details. We not going by hearsay or nothing else. All right. We get into details. Cut my fan off. Put a 1 in the chat if y'all can still hear me. Live here on Twitch, IE Network, and of course Twitter. Okay. So let's see. So now today.
I saw today that Tisa Tells is still telling lies like she told at the trial.
Tisa Tells lies.
From wherever she is, and this guy, look at this guy.
I just got the news that before everybody,
hold on.
Diddy just...
This guy here.
Wait, y'all know I got family locked up with Diddy, and I just got the news that
he got family locked up with it.
Just messed up bad. You gonna want to hear
this guy? He was at the trial too. He's not even in the country. Somebody called me today that used to manage him. This guy used to be signed, I guess, to Floyd Mayweather or whatever.
Just been put into solitary
confinement. He was also at the trial, and he was anti-Puff at the trial. Tisa Tells was anti-Puff from Arizona, and she was anti-Puff at the trial. Y'all know that. So all of these things that people are saying about what they know, and I don't know if my man knows anybody on the inside, but I do. My source is I'm getting from inside Fort Dix, somebody that sees Puff on the yard every day, and knows the real story about everything that went on. Puff is in the SHU. The SHU stands for Segregated Housing Unit, or the Hole, okay, which is a prison inside of a prison. He's on 23-hour lockdown. He comes out 1 hour a day for recreation.
Damn.
No phone, no visits, no shower, no nothing. Now, I went through the story with y'all on the other video. 3 niggas went to the hole as a result of this incident. The inmate from North Carolina had been stalking Puff or sweating Puff or whatever the case may be. It had nothing to do with cigarettes, nothing to do with cell phones. Zero. And it happened inside the RDAP program. Puffy was not the aggressor. The dude from North Carolina was the aggressor. Stepped to Puff. Puff did the right thing in defending himself and protecting himself. He grabbed my man, and they were tussling. Another nigga from New York tried to swing and hit the dude. All 3 of them went to the SHU. Puffy is not kicked out of the RDAP program as of yet. We got to wait and see what happens, right? We got to see what the BOP says.
There are police reported ahead.
We on our way out to the Hamptons. I ain't never been out to the Hamptons before, but we on our way out this. How to do real journalism, right? But they lost at trial. We in the Bronx, up in the boogie down. So everybody started out hating Puff and started out reporting fake news about Puff, and they never stopped, right? But they lost at trial. They lost to me, right? I taught all of them how to do real journalism. Lauren LaRosa from The Breakfast Club, Jerica Duncan.
So Abdi 2666 said, do you think Diddy will get kicked out of RDAP? Well, it all depends. It all depends. If it went down, right? If it went down the way the anti-Diddy people are reporting it, if they got into a fight, if Diddy was smoking, which I don't believe that story at all. I don't believe that Diddy would be dumb enough with just approximately 2 weeks left for him to get out. I don't think he'll say, you know what? I got 2 weeks left. Let me go smoke this cigarette in a non-designated area just because I can do that. I'm Puffy. I seriously doubt that Diddy, who has not had any problems up until now, I seriously doubt that happened. Now, the first story had nothing to do with cell phones and cigarettes. They said that this guy was taunting Diddy and stalking him and harassing him. And then Diddy, when the guy came in stalking him again, Diddy let off on him, before the guy can get to him. Diddy let off on him, all right? And they said it's self-defense. If that happened, if it happened like that, when the guy came in and he just said, yeah, with that baby oil. Yo, I want to use it on your twins. I seen your twins out there. Yo, I'm going to fuck your twins. I'm telling you. If he came and said some shit like that and was like, yeah, I'm going to use the baby oil on your twin daughters. And then Diddy hit him, he's getting kicked out of the RDAP program because it doesn't matter whether somebody say they're going to F your daughters, they're going to F your mama, this and another. if they don't feel as though, if they're not putting your life in danger, if you hit them, you're out. Now, if the guy was being aggressive towards Diddy, getting in Diddy's face like he was going to do something, even if he didn't do anything, if he got in Diddy's face aggressively and Diddy hit him, that can be still considered self-defense. And the reason why I can is you felt your life was in danger. You felt as though he was going to do something if I didn't do something. And that's the reason why I hit him, because he was coming in my face. If that is the case, since it's his first incident, they would probably let him to continue. But it has to be a form of self-defense, meaning the guy made you feel as though your life was in danger. They don't even got to hit you. They had to make you feel as though they might hit you or they might poke you or whatever. Right? Or two, they had to actually hit you. Anything other than that, Diddy's going to probably be kicked out of the program. And if he let that happen, then he deserves to get kicked out of the program. I fuck with Diddy. I want Diddy free. I want him to do time for only what he was convicted of. But if you're in there and you only have a couple of weeks until you get released and you decide to do something like, I'm not saying he did it, but you decide to do something like, sneaking a cell phone in, or smoking in a non-designated area, or you talk about my daughters, I'm gonna hit you with. If he did that, he deserved to be removed from the program. I don't care whether I fuck with Diddy or not, because you have to be smarter than that. You have to know, as a celebrity, especially when it's coming down towards time for you to get out. The Southern District of New York is already upset that they didn't beat you in the RICO. They're upset that they wasn't able to take all your money. They're upset that you made a fool of them at trial. They're upset that they wasn't able to get you for sex trafficking. So they're upset about that. Maureen Comey got fired because she could not get a conviction on Diddy. The head of the SDNY got fired. So now, because they got beat at trial and they felt embarrassed, they went to the judge. I like to call Submaracian, because I believe that judge is a racist. He's an Indian judge, and a lot of Indian people do not like black people, especially black men. So, in my opinion, I'm not saying the man is a racist because I don't know him, and I can't prove that. So to protect myself, judging from everything that I saw the whole trial, all right? Judging from everything I saw, that judge was a racist against black men, and I was told from someone I know who was working in the courts during that whole entire trial, and this person told me while the trial was still going, they were like, the judge is obsessed with Cassie. Because now this was told to me while the case was still going, while trial was still going. This person worked inside the courthouse. They're in court all day. And they said, Heaven, the wild part is the judge is obsessed with Cassie. So he probably sitting behind that desk hard as a bricked up. Because remember, for 8 hours, he's watching Cassie. He's watching sex tapes of Cassie. And I'm sorry, if you are a straight man, heterosexual man, and you're watching Cassie get freaky and get fucked, Cassie's a bad chick. At some point, your shit's gonna get hard. And it's just common. It's just natural. Your shit's going to get hard. If you're sitting there watching Cassie, he's pretty much sitting there watching porn. So the person told me, this judge is obsessed with Cassie. And that's why when it came down to the convictions, this dude is enhancing Diddy up to 50 months when nobody had ever gotten sentenced more than 14 months or more than 21 months on a Mann Act conviction. The most anyone that ever got sentenced was 21 months. And that person was trafficking minors. And they only got 21 months. Here's Diddy, who was not trafficking minors. That didn't come out in court. He didn't have no celebrity sex tape. It wasn't blackmailing anybody. That didn't come out in court. And he didn't even have sex with the escorts. Every escort that came up there and all 12 escorts that was on TV, every last one of them denied ever having a sexual relationship with Diddy. Most of them said, I would have never even allowed him to touch me because I'm not gay. I would never allow him to touch me. If he would have touched me, I would have effed him up. One guy said he was coming over there with a knife in his Timberland boots. He said if that nigga would have came 5 feet from me, I would have stabbed the F out of him. But he said he didn't. He never came close to me. So all of that stuff they were saying did not come out in court. The drug baby oil, that did not come out in court. Cassie was on the stand. They asked Cassie about the drug baby oil. And if anybody got a right to lie on Diddy to send him under the river, it would have been Cassie. And Cassie said, that baby oil wasn't drugged. And she said, matter of fact, he didn't even allow the escorts to do drugs. They could smoke weed. They could drink. He said he didn't even allow them to do drugs. All right. So, and most of them that was there, that remember they're from a company, Cowboys for Angels. They were like, nah, I wasn't taking no substances. A little weed, that's all right. But they were like, substances, no. So, again, that's the same thing that I have to say. If Diddy did what these other people are reporting, he deserves to be kicked out. If a guy came and said, oh, damn, you see your daughters today? Oh, damn, your mama, I'll F your mama. You get in there and take care of mother. I'll F your mama. And Diddy flipped out and was like, here, F these knuckles. You can't do that. You have to hold restraint. Because they're going to send people, especially when you're getting ready to get out of jail. They're going to send people to try to mess you up. And you got to be smarter than that than to take the bait. And if he let them mess him up with only a couple of months, he might have. You might be right, Kenji. He may have. But guess what? In this situation, you can't have a knee-jerk reaction. You have a knee-jerk reaction, you just messed up your whole entire time in there. Right, that's what I heard too, Abdi. But guess what, Abdi? And it pains me to say this because I'm rooting for Diddy. I want Diddy to be free because I can't wait for the mess. I want to see what happens to all these people that turned their back on Diddy when they thought he was going to jail for life. That's why I can't wait for all the mess to happen. That's why I want him out. For my own personal reasons. So I want Diddy to even if he just grabbed him, if he grabbed him because the dude was coming towards him or he felt as though like the dude, he was put in danger, right? That's what I'm saying, Kenji. That would still be considered fighting. Now, unless, Kenji, and you can tell me this, what if Diddy was defending himself? Now, I know a guy who was in a RDAP program. he fought in self-defense. He didn't get kicked out. The other dude did. So that's what I'm saying. I know a person who was in, my cousin was in RDAP at one, he was in the RDAP program. And a guy came in there and started a fight with him. Yes, for what they said, there was no weapons. From what they said, there was no weapons. This is a low security place. From what they said, never heard anything about any weapons. So if this guy came up to him and started with him, and Diddy grabbed him first, and just because he was tired of him or whatever, that's considered fighting, and Diddy can get shipped out. I'm gonna hope it was self-defense. But if it was, and you have to remember, they are trying. See, all of these other cases that are happening, they're trying to hope that something comes out that Diddy gets in trouble again criminally, one of these lawsuits. And now, Abdi, this is interesting. Let me something. This is interesting because I'm gonna get to that point in 1 minute. So I believe that if he, these people, they're sending people at Diddy, and he's got to be ready. He's got to be ready because when you start seeing you see all his dates were getting moved up. Everybody's pissed off. All these content creators that don't even know Diddy. They sit here, Moran Morale, Tisa Tells, Prickett TV, all of these people are upset that Diddy is going to be getting out of jail early. They sit here mad like it's going to affect their life. They're like, why don't you want this man to come home early? If he did his time and he went past the program, why are y'all so upset that he's getting early time like everybody else? The RDAP program works like that for everybody. So because he's Diddy, he shouldn't get the same privilege? But the thing is, Diddy has to know they're coming for him. They're going to try to mess him up. Even in jail, when my cousin was about to come home, he even said to me years ago, he was like, yeah, I'm coming home in a month, so I'm going to be prepared for niggas to start testing me. Because the niggas that are stuck in jail for another 10, 15, 20 years, they ain't got nothing to lose. They, fuck that nigga. They jealous that he going home. So they're going to try to do something to spark him to get more time. And I believe that some people see Diddy through their personal trauma. And that's why they hate him so much. And I agree with that, but guess what? Too damn bad. That's a you problem. Not talking about you specifically. That's a them problem. That ain't a Diddy problem. Diddy don't even know them. So get over it, sis. Sis or sir. Go see a damn therapist and work your shit out. So they hate Diddy because of shit that's going on in their life. Oh, fucking well. You got to work that out on your own. Don't use Diddy as a scapegoat. Right? That's the problem. And I go back to the whole accountability thing. That's the whole problem with people in this generation and some millennials. This generation and some millennials never want to take accountability. Always somebody else's fault. Always somebody else's fault. Oh, so I'm going to blame Diddy because it's people like him. Somebody just like him beat me up. F Diddy. Well, you stayed in a relationship or you left? Well, I stayed because... Well, what that got to do with Diddy? I could sit and say this, that, and the third, all I want, right? Now, there was not this channel right here, but not my channel, but another person's channel, they got demonetized, right? This is before me. They got demonetized. So they said, yeah, when I told my story, they said, yeah, me too. YouTube just demonetized me. So I said, oh, word? Why they demonetize you? I'm thinking I may have found somebody else just like me, so that I could see, why they demonetize you? It's BS. It's some BS. They demonetized me, said that I was using, because I was reacting to a short video. They said I was reusing content and wasn't really adding to the content. I was doing emotional reactions. I didn't say anything, but I was reacting with my face to emotion. That's my niche, whatever. Okay. But they said it was reusing content. Right? So I said, oh, so what'd you do? They were like, I used a short, another person's YouTube short that was viral, right? And I was reacting to it. But you was reacting to it, but you didn't say anything or nothing. And they have that down to one of the rules. Right? No, that's stupid. I had no idea I was doing that. Well, there you go. You had no idea you were doing that, but you should have read up on it. See? So that's not really YouTube's fault. That's your fault. But they continue to say, YouTube did this, YouTube did that. But YouTube actually didn't do. They actually sent out some sort of memo that said, we're cracking down on, overused content, whatever the heck they call it. And maybe you didn't understand what they meant by that. But that's for you to find out. It's not YouTube's job to explain to you, hey, look, man, you just put up a video and it's overused content, because they already sent you out a memo that's explaining what overused content was. So that's not like my situation where they're like, oh, you did something, and I'm like, okay, well, what did I do? What are you talking about? A copyright on something. Okay, well, what video is it? But they won't tell me. So then when I tried to reapply, they're like, oh, just fix the videos that need to be fixed and then reapply. So I just deleted all of the videos, deleted them all. And I'm like, so I know it ain't there no more. Reapplied, they said the same thing. I said, well, could you tell me what video you're talking about? They won't tell me. So they won't tell me what video fucked me up. How am I supposed to fix it if I don't know what video you're talking about? And I went to all my videos and I don't see any videos that copyright anybody. So let's go back and finish what he was saying.
From ABC or CBS, Piers Morgan, Nancy Grace, TMZ, the light-skinned, high yellow nigga with the dreads with the other dude, what's his name, Harvey from TMZ, Gene Deal, CNBC, CNN, Laura Coates, all of them. None of them had me on this show. Nobody offered, but they were all there taking pictures of me, filming me, watching me raise the bar, watching me raise the standard. Show them throws, nigga. Raise the standard of journalism, right? Showing them how to be objective and to put your personal feelings to the side when you report. Look at Manhattan. Show them Manhattan. That's the Whitestone Bridge over there. That's the Whitestone, and that's New York over there.
We help veterans get the support and benefit.
You understand? Showing them how to be objective and report the news, report the facts. Keep your personal emotions out of it, right? And they lost, right? I won. Puff won.
That's right.
Puff, he's in the shoe.
Mile, use the right 2 lanes to take the exit toward Cross Island Parkway.
It's an unfortunate event, but like I tell y'all, this nigga Puff is in federal prison at Fort Dix. Things go down at Fort Dix. A nigga got killed over the TV at Fort Dix when I was at Morgantown. Fort Dix is no joke. There's knife play at Fort Dix. You will get your life taken at Fort Dix. So you cannot show any type of weakness, right? So Puff is put in a position where he has to demonstrate.
Use the right 2 lanes to take the exit toward Cross Island Parkway.
He has to demonstrate that he's ready to go. But I think that the administration, the COs, the lieutenants, the warden, they understand that this is a public figure, that Puff is a massive, massive public figure, that this is the king of New York, right? That this is a hip hop global icon. Not like Funny Blue Jacket. Funny Blue Jacket. Funny Blue Jacket doesn't even begin to approach the level of what Puff is. So they understand that he's gonna be a target. You know, a nigga is looking to get points, you know, a reputation or whatever the case may be. So, you know, they understand that, and I think that will be taken into consideration. It was purely self-defense, but this dude here, he's not even.
I'll tell you what he got put in solitary confinement for in a minute. But first, let me tell you what.
He's not even in the country. He was at the trial. Tisha tells these people, they're all lies, man. They just want to have something to say to get clicks. Nobody knows what's going to happen with the decision the BOP is going to make. Like I told y'all yesterday, it could go a bunch of different ways. Puff and my man could be let back out onto the compound to complete the RDAP program. A lot of that, I would believe, is going to depend on Puffy's performance within the RDAP program up until the point of the incident, which from what I understand, he was labeled as a model prisoner, right? So this would be something highly unusual to the doctor in the RDAP program, to the COs, to the lieutenant. Like, Puff hasn't exhibited this kind of behavior since he's been locked up all the way from MDC Brooklyn. All he's been doing is inspiring the inmates, helping inmates, you know, doing his time, minding his business, walking the yard, working out, getting in shape. So they got to be saying, like, come on, man, you know, something had to happen. Puff would not go and start a fight with less than 30 to 60 days before he goes home and hugs his daughters and cooks them, makes them peanut butter and jelly sandwich. You know, why would he do this now? Another option could be they could possibly kick Puff out of the program, and he would lose all of his good time. He would lose the 1 year off from the RDAP. He would lose the halfway house, early release, or home confinement. That's one option. Another option would be he gets kicked out of the program and is shipped out of Fort Dix to another prison somewhere else in the United States, Alabama, Georgia, Maryland, Kentucky, California, wherever, Oregon, the Midwest, and would have to do the remainder of his time in prison. Or, which is what I'm kind of hoping for and what I'm pulling for, is they let him out, they let him back in the program, they turn the other cheek and say, yo, this was a one-off. Let my man finish his RDAP and let him come on home, man. The nigga done been through enough. He took the people to trial. He beat him at trial. Didn't rat, didn't cooperate, didn't give up no names. Probably knows a lot of shit that some people have done. He probably could have talked a lot and helped himself, but he chose not to. He stood tall. He's a man amongst men. He's demonstrated that. All y'all said that he was on the fruit pop tip. You said he got down with little people. You said he was soft. You understand? But obviously, that can't be the case because the nigga is tying the sneakers up, getting busy in Fort Dix. So that whole thing, that whole perception of who Puff is out the window. Now, here's an interesting point, and this is from me, and this is from men who understand what real manhood is, especially men that have been to prison, is that you 495 East 30E, okay. For Puff to get into a physical altercation with another inmate.
All right. So shout out to Podcast with Soul. That's the information I'm going on. I'm not believing that dude, college, whatever his name is. That dude had number one, he was also the one talking about Offset and saying that information was right. Never trust a dude, right? Never trust a dude that says, and that's the same thing that happened with like Tasha K. Never trust somebody who says they always right. Never trust somebody who says, oh, nobody else got the story right but me. How is that? So you mean to tell me TMZ don't have the story? The Breakfast Club don't have the story. Nobody else got the story, but you got the story, and you not even in this country. How did you get the story from England or from Thailand or from wherever the hell you at? How did you get the story? Before somebody in the United States, before TMZ, who get the story for everybody. Everybody said TMZ, the feds. So how does TMZ not have the story? According to y'all, TMZ, the feds. So TMZ didn't have the story. Nobody had the story except your ass, and you not even in this country. Bro, stop it. You know what I'm saying? That's like Murad Morale. Oh, what are you talking about? I'm not going to believe anything from somebody that's in wherever the hell he's at, the UK. And on top of that, there's somebody who don't really like Puff. You take the information from me because even though I love Puff, I'm still going to keep it down the line 100. As you just see, you didn't see me in here saying, oh, they need to let him back in. I don't care what happened. No, I said if Puffy started that fight or if Puffy couldn't restrain himself and they said Diddy was caught drinking and somebody still remained on. Yeah, they lied. Absolutely. How the hell is it if he got caught drinking, he would have never been able to even enter the RDAP program. So that's how you know that was a lie. Because if he got caught drinking, They would have never even allowed him to enter the program. That was before they even started the program. They would never even allow him to enter the program if he got caught drinking. Like Diddy just went through that tough time in Brooklyn. He's no dummy. Crazy. Crazy. All right, let's get to this Trump Nicki Minaj thing. Where's Coffee City? Hold on. Where's Coffee City? She's Coffee Unfiltered now.
Nicki Minaj has.
Hold on. There we go. So we're using this on the Section 107. Copyright 1976. Allowances made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and education. And we're going to be using Coffee City's video. Donald Trump laughing at Nicki Minaj, and the Barbs somehow don't feel as though this is a diss. So I'm going to let y'all look at it, and y'all can tell me whether you think it's a diss or not, okay? Because I'm not going to be fighting with y'all. Oh, you just like Nicki Minaj. You think everything. I'm not going to say nothing. Y'all can let me know whether you think it's a diss or not, okay?
Has taken another L, okay? As you all know, she damaged her legacy for Donald Trump, and she's now being humiliated again by him. Trump recently made this comment about Nicki. Check this out.
The attempted mass murder at the Washington Hilton, that's what it could have been, was an assault on our democracy itself. Very serious situation. Many of you were there with me, and some showed extreme bravery, like Pete Hegseth, Steve Miller, Tom Holman. Really? They were standing on tables, and most of you were under the tables, okay? But they did. They showed. I saw every one of them that was standing up in those tables. I didn't know if they were brave, if they were smart, if they were stupid as hell. But they were on those tables in some cases. And there were a lot of different feelings going on in the room at that moment. But after hearing the gunshots, many people yelled, "Get down, get down," which caused Nicki Minaj to start twerking. Which caused Nicki Minaj to start twerking. Do you believe it? Get down. She's the only one that really understood what that meant. It's quite an evening. But tonight we come back together to answer that.
Yikes. How embarrassing is this? How embarrassing. He literally sees her as just someone who twerks. You cannot make this up. He has absolutely no respect for her. He doesn't respect the fact that she's a rapper. All he's thinking about is Nicki Minaj twerking. And she's trying to play it off by posting this. She said, "How I'll be looking at the president next time I see him." But the people aren't buying it. They are dragging her. Elon Musk, who she also kisses his ass. He was laughing at her. He put this laughing emoji, laughing at the situation. This is embarrassing. Nicki Minaj ruined her legacy because of Donald Trump. I cannot get over that. And the people are laughing at her. They said, "Congrats, Nicki Minaj. You are now reduced to a bad Trump joke." Another person said, "Nicki, look at how they are laughing and mocking you. I need you to see what cooning gets you. They will never see you as one of them. You're only ever a pawn." This goes for every marginalized person who decided to betray their community for personal gain. Like, for real, it's not too late. Someone else said, "This is racially charged, but what could you expect from this racist clown when MAGA Minaj willingly signed up for this?" So yes, Nicki Minaj put herself in this situation, so no one should feel bad for her, okay? Let me know your thoughts. Hit the like button. I'll see you guys in my next video.
So shout out to Coffee City. Damn, Garfield City stay on Nicki Minaj's neck. Now, a lot of the Barb cult, right? Hold on. A lot of the Barb cult, oh, it's not a big deal. Oh, it's all part of the plan. What's up, Marcel? It's all part of the plan. All part of the plan. Again, I ain't saying nothing. I ain't gonna say nothing. They said it's all part of the plan. So him disrespecting her is all part of the plan. Well, I mean, what does she mean? Oh, how I'll be looking at the president next time I see him. And got that stupid Chucky shit. Like come on, man. And then what they start doing, they all want to run. The Nicki fans want to start running to talk about Megan. I mean, funny how everyone applauded Megan for reinforcing racial stereotypes of black women, but don't want to act as activists because Trump made a joke about Nicki. Like, what are you talking about? Brooklyn's in the chat. What's up? What does Megan have to do with this? Whenever it's something about them, they always run and start talking about somebody else. Like, what does this got to do with Megan Thee Stallion? Right. Am I crazy to believe Nicki doesn't actually like Trump and is just using him to launch a project? See how they want to try. This is what they want to try to use. This is not what y'all were saying before. So she's gonna go up there and say he's handsome and that's my favorite president. He's launching him to launch a project. What project could she be launching? To use him to launch a project, something big that will make change to the music industry. Like what? Because I found it unserious when she said Trump is her favorite president. Then laughing, crying emoji. Y'all, you can always tell when they're really bothered when they put that laughing, crying emoji. Like, you don't really believe that. You trying to make people think that you're unbothered by, oh, she's doing this. She's playing chess. She's playing chess. She don't really like him. She's playing chess. Nope. Look, I've always had this theory low key. Stop it. Stop it. So stupid, man. I know, Marcel. Oh, we have to bring up Megan Thee Stallion. Like what are they talking about? I don't understand why either. So now she don't really like Trump. She's just doing that to use. Red Media says Donald Trump humiliates Nicki Minaj during the speech at the White House correspondent dinner. They said after hearing the gunshots, she got down and twerked. Okay. But that's what he thinks about women. That's, black women. Nicki's got a big ass. He probably thinks, oh, she's just twerking. And Nicki don't even really twerk like that. That's the funny thing about it. So when you look at it, he's really just looking at all black women with big asses as the only thing they go for is twerking. Oh, she got down and started twerking. Nicki doesn't even, out of all the female rappers, Nicki probably twerks the least because she really can't dance. Nicki's probably got the stiffest twerk out of all of them. So to attach the twerking to her, and she's the one that twerks the least. That just goes to show what he thinks about black women, especially black women with BBLs or whatever she got. And then this is of course, this is a page who defends Nicki Minaj. Oh, Nicki and Trump, they're just having fun. First, Nicki doing all that cooning and being a good little old N-word for Trump only for him to make a racist joke about her. Real talk, Nicki Minaj, you see how you thought Trump was effing with you and he turned around and high key said some racist-ish about you behind your back publicly? Come back home to your side. No. She can stay where she at. Stay where she at. She love it over there. She can stay where she at. Clapping back with him with a Chucky meme. That's not enough. Right? She did not go to legal rank. Oh, she went to, no, she didn't. All right. So, YG who, what? YG just murdered someone? No, didn't they say that YG, didn't they arrest him for like, what's his name? One of them young N-words, YG detained. Yeah, Drakeo, for Drakeo, right? It said, YG jokes about police detainment during his versus battle. So he got detained, but he still came out for the verses. Yeah, no, it's not old. He just got detained. I think it was yesterday, but yeah, the murder's old. He got detained to search his property to see if they can see anything that had anything to do with that murder. Right. So yeah, y'all let me know down in the comments. Anybody's here on the replay. Do you think Nicki Minaj got played by Donald Trump, or do you think it's no big deal? Okay. Let's check out Uncle Murda firing back at Memphis Bleak. Okay. So now, if y'all don't know why, if y'all don't know why Uncle Murda is firing back at Memphis Bleak, and everybody knows that Memphis Bleak, that's Jay-Z's young son. He came up. Jay-Z pretty much brought him up. He was asked about Tony Yayo about a week ago. All right. let's see what Tony Yayo had to say. I mean, Memphis Bleak. So this is
if this doesn't work for you.
Tony Yayo and Uncle Murder. You know, they're down with 50 Cent. They're down with 50 Cent, right? And I think they made a comment saying, oh, they don't take care of, Jay-Z don't take care of Bleak the way 50 take care of us, right? And this was Bleak's response. So this is what Bleak said to them last week. Oh, let's see. Okay, hold on.
I never don't think no other artist from our era, or even before the generation today, wasn't even born. Give it, yeah, Snoop. Yeah, Doggy Style ain't gonna front one.
Yeah, from that era. He actually before y'all.
Who else? I was trying to think. I'm like, people can't even do a 20-year, 3 nights in a row, and then the album on this.
Or you can do that at Urban Plaza.
Yeah,
you
know what I'm saying?
I thought that was dope, and the way he brought out Nas, that's hook him right into. He should have been a DJ. Word.
It's tell him like, yo, you never seem to not amaze me, bro. Man.
That is what Memphis Bleak said. Now, Uncle Murder and Tony Yayo responded back to Bleak, and Murder looked like he madder than Yayo. Hold on. So what they gonna do now? They gonna have a versus? They're gonna have a versus now? A Memphis Bleak versus Tony Yayo versus? All right. All right, let's go.
Hold up, man. And the only Bleak verse I ever fucking like is the one that Jay-Z wrote, nigga. The only Bleak verse I ever like is the one that Jay-Z wrote. I ain't never like a Bleak verse that he wrote by himself. Fuck out of here. Niggas ain't no Memphis Bleak fans like that neither, nigga.
Why you starting like
now, I'm just saying back to that shit, nigga. I'm dead serious.
You
back to that
right now.
Yeah, I am. I'm on 1,000.
Yo, look. Lenny.
I'm on 1,000, nigga.
You talking about
Bitcoin for Bitcoin, bank account for bank account, nigga, and business statements for business statements, nigga. And we can do it next week.
Yo, look.
And let's check the transactions. You know how you can scratch it out so nobody wire nobody nothing, nigga. Let's see how much money niggas really got, nigga. And check the safe. Because we got the safe money too. I got it safe in the crib. And I just took my kids first class flights on Disney. We was in Disney World, nigga. I do shit with the kids, nigga. You heard? It was me and 2 of the homies and 13 kids, nigga. Oh, we do shit with
13 kids. Yeah, that bothered him. That bothered him. Yayo didn't say nothing though. So like he can sell out a theater on his own. But Tony Yayo, he didn't say nothing. There's the bottom line, man. We're going to see if they go back and forth. You know, Bleak said, basically, I don't need Jay to take care of me. But I truly believe that Memphis Bleak, if he ever needed Jay to take care of him, Jay once said on a record, as long as I'm alive, Bleak's a millionaire. So, to me, that lets me know that if Bleak needs Jay-Z for something, I believe Jay-Z would come through for him. Now, I don't know that for a fact, But at least I would think, as you know, Bleak been holding Jay down all these years. I would like to at least think that if Bleak ever fell on hard times, and how do we know he hasn't? How do we know Bleak hasn't fell on hard times and Jay picked him back up? We don't know that. We don't know that. You know what I mean? You know, because Jay-Z, it's kind of like he kind of takes his thing from what Prince had said to him. Prince told him one time before, like, I never tell what I do for people. That I just go and do people. Prince used to go and did something. It was years before we found out that Prince took care of Lauryn Hill's kids when she was locked up for a year. He didn't go around bragging about that. Nobody said nothing about that. But Prince took care of Lauryn Hill's kids when she got locked up and had to do a year in jail. Prince took care of her children. But he didn't go around telling people. He also, when there was an apartment complex, I believe it was in Harlem or something like that they were trying to shut down the apartment complex, Prince went, put the money up to save the apartment complex in Harlem. Didn't tell nobody he was doing it, just went and did it. So we don't know what Jay is doing or have done for Memphis Bleak. You know, Jay-Z didn't go around bragging about taking care of Foxy Brown's medical bills, but it came out that he was. I don't know if he's still doing it now, but he was doing it for a number of years. Just like how Prince was taking care of Vanity's hospital bills for years after she got sick. But Prince never steps up and says anything. You know what I mean? Crazy. Let's see what else we got here. I got to take a little bit of break. I'm going to let y'all see. Hold on. Let y'all see a little sneak preview of our we're getting ready to turn it into animated, right? It's animated. It was we call it the, we trying to bring black TV shows back, okay? We're bringing black TV shows back, y'all. And I have this new app. Like I said, it's the same app that we're doing. It's the same app that we're doing in Atlanta. But while I go take this quick break, y'all take a look at this and let me know what you think. This is called Kiki and Claude. We just turned it into an animated series, so it'll all be in HD. This is going to be, if you know who Laverne and Shirley is, what we did is recreate Laverne and Shirley except the black version, right? Black version. So here we go. Wait a minute, let me make sure y'all can see it. This is Kiki and Claude. Black Laverne and Shirley. Gonna put them on. They're gonna take over the airways. We bringing black shows back in the form of animation. Kiki and Claude are two young black women who share a one-bedroom apartment in Brooklyn. All right. And they're trying to break into the music industry by any means necessary. This is the show that I created, on my brother directing it. and we're getting ready to turn this into an animated series. But y'all take a little look at it. I'm just gonna take a quick break. I gotta go take a whiz and get a drink.
Do it, man. Do it, man.
Oh my goodness, girl. These guys are looking great. Oh my God.
Is that my girl, Kiki?
Kevin?
Come here, girl.
I
missed you, girl. I missed you.
Oh, yeah, me too. Oh.
I've been looking for you for the last 7 months. I gotta come to a club in the city to find you.
Oh, wow. When did you get out, Kevin? I thought you was doing like 7 years. Like,
I did 3.5. I got on a good behavior.
Wow. Good for you, Kevin. I had no idea.
I know, I was trying to tell you, but you just stopped writing me and stopped responding to me, baby. What's up with that?
Well, I figured when you told me that you had to do 6 more years on top of the one that you already did, I figured that.
You would just turn your back on me and just kick me to the curb, right?
No.
That's what you figured,
Kevin,
right?
it wasn't even like that.
So how was it, Kiki?
No.
What the hell is this? Candid camera? Get that camera out my face.
Nah, this is my camera and I'm filming, so step off.
Oh, I know that voice. Is that Claude?
Claude, please.
Oh my
God, please, Kevin, listen. Kevin, look, I didn't mean to kick you like anywhere or forget about you.
Do you remember what you told me in that letter? You said, Kevin, I'm going to toughen this one out with you. That's what you said.
Yes, and I did, Kevin, for over a year until I found out about that other charge that you just so happened to forget to tell me about, and then you was getting more time. I mean, damn, Kevin, I can't just put my life on hold.
The last 4 years of my life was just a waste? Kaput? Bonito?
Kevin, our relationship was on and off for years. Don't even try it. Every time I turned around, you got some skank all up in your face. So I don't even want to hear all that.
Kiki, you know that's bull. Oh my gosh, can you please get that goddamn camera out my face? I can't believe you still hang around with that clown.
Clown is my
You
friend.
go to jail for robbing a damn Chuck E. Cheese and I'm a clown? Man, boy, please.
What? I'm telling you, Claude, you better get that camera out my face. I'm telling you.
Don't you touch my camera. Okay, you do what you want, but you do not touch my camera. It cost me 2 stacks, and judging by what you got on, Negro, you cannot afford it. So fall back.
Okay, I'm gonna go before I smack a hoe.
What?
Smack a hoe. You heard this song before, right?
No.
Kevin, I don't think that's a good idea.
I'm gonna go. But you coming with me? Right? Please?
I'm gonna meet you back at the house. I'll talk to you later.
Hell no. I'm not leaving you in the hands of this criminal. We came together. We are leaving together. Okay.
Good point. Kevin, can I have your number and then I'll
555
call you?
5251. You got it?
Call Cam. Yeah, we got it.
All right. Well,
I'll call you tomorrow.
Maybe we should do this. I want to see you alone. Oh, look. All right. I'm back, baby.
Okay.
Lord.
Of all the people I thought I'd never see again, my ex-boyfriend, Kevin. Come on, Claude. You don't ruin my night. Get that out of my face. Come on.
So, we're back. That was Kiki and Claude, Baby I'm Back episode. Now, somebody said you're talking about what Tasha K said about Nicki Minaj. So let me go to Tasha K. I think she was, what was he talking about there? Hold on. She said on Twitter. Let's see. Don't. We gotta get into Charleston White too. Like, they're both married, but they're still together. Lord have mercy. Girls are going for. I mean, this girl is with Charleston White. So I'm gonna assume Ray is talking about this. I'm gonna assume it's this. Hold on a minute. Now here's Tasha K, and correct me if I'm wrong. I thought Tasha K said she wasn't going to be reporting on Nicki Minaj anymore. I guess that's over with. She was like, "Oh, I'm going to start reporting it right down the middle." But I guess she realized she don't get much traction unless she's talking about Nicki Minaj. So she sees that unless she puts Nicki Minaj up in her headlines, nobody really pays attention to Tasha K. Look at the stuff she posted before. It's like when she talk about Drake and Sexy Red. Like whenever it's about Drake or Nicki Minaj, it's distraction. But this thing here about Shazam of H-Town, 2,000 views. But then you go to her Drake post, 48,000 views. She talked about Cheyenne, 3,000 views. And then this is Charleston White, 5,000 views. Brittany Renner, 3,000 views. Right? But then she talks about her little thing, Charleston White side chick, 1,000. Charleston White side chick, 1,000. But then here she goes. Nicki Minaj, 37,000. You see? So she understands that mentioning Nicki Minaj's name is going to get her traction because the Barbs have the name Nicki Minaj on notification. So whenever Nicki Minaj's name is said, the Barbs, whoop, wait, what? Who talking about Nicki? Who talking about Nicki? So Tasha K says here, them same doctors at Rock Nation are accused of hiring to diagnose Desiree Perez's daughter and Baker Act her. So what she's talking about there is Demaray Hadley, who is Desiree Perez's. Now, mind you, I'm doing this off muscle memory, right? Because I'm not really into that case like that. Because I really don't give a fuck about Desiree Perez, but I understand what's going on. So Demaray Hadley, who is Desiree Perez's daughter, she's suing Desiree Perez. She's saying that Desiree Perez illegitimately had her locked away. Baker Act her in Florida. They have this Baker Act. I know for a fact because my daughter got Baker Act one time, my oldest daughter. And you get Baker Act and you're taken to the hospital for evaluation and make sure, you know, you're not suicidal, you don't have mental health issues, whatever. Right? So she got Baker Act and she's suing her saying that the doctors, Rock Nation hired doctors that was going to say that she need fake diagnose her and say she need to be Baker Act, right? So she said, Desiree's daughter and Baker Act her, they're the same people and doctors that are spreading that dumb bipolar shit about Nicki Minaj. Now, first of all, and in my opinion, they are them same doctors that keep Bigfoot smiling, still calling Megan Bigfoot like at her right old age. It's so childish. Oh, Bigfoot, like, just say Megan Thee Stallion. That keep Bigfoot smiling in them people's face. So, listen, let me try to break down what she's talking about. So, she says, are the same doctors who diagnose who's that dumb bipolar shit about Nicki Minaj. Now, first of all, what real doctors, right, diagnosed Nicki Minaj with bipolar? I don't remember ever seeing any real doctors diagnose her with bipolar. Now, Tasha K is the one who came out and said a doctor diagnosed her with schizophrenia, with schizophrenia. Bipolar was never discussed. And nobody would have ever knew of that. No one would have ever knew of that if Tasha K didn't put it out there. I know I didn't know it. Right? I would have knew it. Now, the reason why Tasha K put it out there is because Cardi B made a comment and said, oh, the girl is schizophrenic because she got diagnosed as schizophrenic. But nobody would have ever knew that was even a thing if Tasha K didn't confirm it and say, oh, the doctor said she's schizophrenic. So Tasha K and is low-key being messy as usual. And I don't understand how. I don't know what Tasha K got on Nicki Minaj or tries to act like she got. I don't really know what she could possibly have on her that nobody knows about. But it's like whenever Tasha K says something, her fan base or her, they never criticize Tasha K. Just like when she stood up here, when people say Nicki had when Safari said she had ghostwriters, she went off. When Remy said she had ghostwriters, she went off. But Tasha K said the same thing. And she never responded. She never had any smoke for Tasha K. Now Tasha K is also the one who brought up the schizophrenia. You know, after she didn't have to come and if everybody would have thought that Cardi B was just blowing smoke. They would have thought that Cardi B was just blowing smoke. But she comes out and admits that a doctor diagnosed her with schizophrenia. Now, why wouldn't Nicki Minaj say, bitch, like, why are you telling my business? Like, that's not for you to tell the world, because if I'm not mistaken, it was Tasha K who said it. It was Tasha K who said it. So I don't really know why she's bringing this back up. So now she's saying the doctors, well, and I believe that's all while cashing her check. They say she's under a conservatorship. What? They don't say that. That is who's they? Who's they? Tasha K once again making shit up. I have never heard that anywhere else. That would come out in court. That would come out in court. If she remember, she's in court against Milagro-Grams. She was in court against someone else, whatever. If she was under a conservatorship, they would have to state that in court. So when she says, they say she's who? But I thought y'all said Megan don't make no money. So why would she be under conservatorship if she don't make no money? According to the Barbs, she don't make no money, even though she's the 4th highest selling female rapper in the history of rap. That means only 3 rappers since female rap has existed has sold more than Megan Thee Stallion. But still in all, they say she's a flop. Now she's got a conservatorship. Well, you really only get a conservatorship over people who got money. They got Wendy Williams into a conservatorship. Malaga said that in court. She claimed that, right. But again, that's what Kelsey told her. But Kelsey's sitting back and she ain't in court. But if they were in a conservatorship, she would have to have her conservatorship people on those papers, because she can't sue anybody if she's under conservatorship. The people who are over her under conservatorship, they have to sue people. They have to sue because they're controlling the estate. They're controlling the estate. Kelsey's so damn dumb. They may have a business account. This happens all the time. They may have a business account that they control because it's their business with her name on it. That a lot of companies do that. But that's not a conservatorship. So Kelsey may have saw that and be like, oh, she's on the conservatorship. No, she probably has a personal account, and then Rock Nation probably has a business account where they are on the account with Megan Thee Stallion. That happens all the time. Rihanna had one. Beyonce had one. You have your personal accounts, and then Rihanna had a Fendi business account where Fenty, Rock Nation, or whatever, was on the account until there wasn't an account anymore. But that's not a conservatorship. A conservatorship is someone who's controlling your movement, your money, like how they have Britney Spears. They're controlling where you perform. They're controlling what shows you do. That's a conservatorship. It's saying that you're incapable of making decisions. A conservatorship just isn't about money. When you get put into a conservatorship, like how Britney was, like how Wendy Williams was, they're basically saying you're not competent to make smart business decisions, not just money. Smart business decisions. And so they put in control of you, and they got, when you go out there, when Britney was performing, remember they only let her perform in Vegas. And then if somebody couldn't come with her, she couldn't perform outside of Vegas. They told her when she could perform, what days. They controlled her. Tasha K, see, the thing that's going to have to happen to Tasha K is she's going to have to give up that money. It's going to have to really happen to hit her before she shuts her fucking mouth. Because if she's able to straddle the fence, say, just like now, Cardi B and them let her off again with a settlement. All right? Well, a settlement on the fees. We don't know what's going to happen with the other stuff yet. But she's going to have to get hit with something, and they got to say, you know what? Forget it. You got to have to pay that $4 million before 90 days. It's going to have to really hit her with something before she stopped making up these lies. Tasha K cannot, what she's doing is she lets everybody know that she doesn't have confidence in her ability. Because if she had confidence in her ability, there would be no reason for her to tell lies and embellish stories. Just go out there and find news. If you're such an insider, or if you have connection to people on the inside, why can't you report? I don't understand. Why can't you report real news? Why do you always have to embellish and lie? And this, you should have enough confidence in yourself and in your ability. And you must think that you're not entertaining enough, that you have to embellish the truth. Why can't you just go out there and find out the real truth and report it instead of embellishing the truth? Like if you're really that bitch, if you're really the Wendy Williams of blogging, or the Wendy Williams of YouTube, then what's the problem? Like why is it always some sort of lie attached? You see, she went and did Gina, right? She went and did Gina. Now, that was a good exclusive story that she got. The girl who Diddy, Gina Hung or Gina Wong or whatever, that Diddy used to abuse and stuff like that. She was the first one to get that story out there. Okay, cool. Right? So you should have led on with that. But then once you saw that it didn't do what you thought it was going to do, now you want to come back with, oh yeah, her and Young Miami be doing threesomes. No, they don't. You see what I'm saying? She had to embellish on the story that she already had, when she had absolutely no proof that Young Miami and this Gina girl was doing threesomes. Gina put on her social media I don't know where the fuck you got that from. I can't stand that bitch. I would, if even if I was bisexual, I would never touch that bitch. She's like, so that's a lie. But you see what I'm saying? You had a good story. You had a good story with Gina. You should have stayed with that because you were the first one to put that story out. You should have stayed with that and followed up on that. But then you went and threw a lie on top of it to try to get people to revisit it once she was in the Diddy trial. When she was supposed to be in the Diddy trial, but then she turned Diddy down. She said no, she wasn't going to testify against Diddy. She stood on business and said, no, I'm not testifying against my friend. So shout out to Gina. Diddy, when you come home, you better put a baby in Gina. And I'd marry KK. Get you a wife. I would get a wife right away, and it would be KK. Because KK put her whole life on the line for you. I would give Gina a baby. I'd say, I'm going to marry you, KK. But before I do that, I got to give Gina a baby. Because Gina held me down. I got to give Gina a baby. And then I'll marry you. Then you can have his wife. And I'm telling you, having a wife in the entertainment business makes a lot of things go away. It makes a lot of things go away. They look at you different in the entertainment business when you're married. They look at you different. They look at you different. Now, of course, I'm joking when I say give Gina. I'm just saying because of her loyalty. That's what I'm saying. Because of her loyalty, when we say, oh, you gotta give her a baby. I don't really technically mean, oh yeah, go get her pregnant. But it would not be that a bad idea. And the reason why I say that is do whatever you got to do to keep her in your life. We'll put it that way. Whatever you got to do to keep Gina in your life, do it. Because she could have really, really destroyed it. If they would have got if they would have got a third victim, Diddy would have been done. Diddy would have been done. But Gina said, man, get that shit out of here. She didn't do like Daphne Joy. No, right. No, but Gina wasn't in the video. Young Miami, I would cut Carisha off. And the only reason, right? Now, Carisha never said anything negative about Diddy, right? And she did send in a letter. Well, Gina didn't have no vids. Gina didn't have no video come out. Well, unless you're talking about the interview. But I'll tell you why I wouldn't cut Gina loose. Young Miami, even though she never spoke ill about Diddy, she didn't stand up either and be like, yo, at first, she never came out at first and said, now as far as look wise, Ray, that would be the best look, right? Diddy needs to get married. I'm be honest with you. But Young Miami, to me, took way too long to stand up for Diddy. Yes, she sent in the letters when it was time for the sentencing and stuff like that. She sent in the letters. But before that, sis, you unfollowed me. You know what I'm saying? You unfollowed me. You pretty much led people to believe that I was guilty of all those things, and you unfollow me. But then when he found not guilty, and now they do for the sentencing, now here she come. Now, I will say this. If her and Diddy had a conversation, right? Because I know for a fact Diddy told Nicki Minaj, and I thought he may have told Carisha at first, unfollow me. You know, detach yourself from me. I don't want what I got going on to mess y'all up. Now, from what I was told, because remember when he went in, Carisha was on fire, right? And he said, you know, you got a good thing going. You know, unfollow me, detach yourself from me until this is over. Till after I beat it, then whatever. As long as I know you rocking with me. Now, if that is true, right? If that situation is true, and he really did say that to Carisha, then I ain't got no problem with it. Then you shouldn't cut off because she just did what you said. Gina put out the video, and she already, remember, she put out that interview long before he got, before the shit with Cassie dropped. And she basically said, for his money, I disagree. He got to marry Gina. I don't. Well, again, money's part of it, but Young Miami had other dudes with money too. Money's part of it. However, if she is still, she act like she was in love with that nigga. I'm not gonna hold you. And here's the thing about Puff. Here's the thing about Puffy. The reason why I don't feel as though it was just money with Young Miami is just the way their whole chemistry together. Body language is everything. She looked at that nigga like she loved that nigga. She was getting her humiliated, putting the sign up, this, that, and the third. She was taking a lot of hits for Puff. And my thing is this about Puffy. They could talk about the size of his thing and this, that, and the third. However, Puffy's a Scorpio. We born on the same day at the same time. That's some ironic shit. We was born on the same day at the same time. The only thing different between me and Puff is 2 different hospitals. We was both born on November 4th, 10:55 a.m. That shit's wild, right? And Puff has always been a charming nigga. Always. Even back before he had money. Look at the chicks he was pulling. He pulled, again, I told people before about old girl with the blonde hair. What's the chick? What is baby mama name? With the blonde hair? And she used to have the 2 long pigtails. What's that chick's name? Misa. What's up, Darius? Before, yeah, thank you, sir. Before Misa, before he was rich, Misa was that chick, right? Misa was that chick. I told everybody back in the 90s, right? Late 80s, early 90s. There was late 80s. There was only 2 black girls that was rocking blonde ponytails. 3, really. But I only knew 2. Now, Queen B, not Lil' Kim, the lady Lil' Kim got her persona from. The hairdresser And the queen pin, Queen B. Queen B was from Brooklyn too. Queen B that used to have the salon in Queens, I think. She had a hair salon in Queens. And that's who Lil' Kim took her persona from. She wasn't a rapper though. She used to do hair. She owned a salon and she was a queen pin. But then there was a girl named Goldie who also rocked the blonde pigtails. Goldie was from Hempstead. And then there was Misa. Right? Those were the only two girls in that era, black girls. These were the first two black girls that I ever seen rocking blonde hair. Right? So Misa was a hot commodity. Diddy didn't even have no money yet. Diddy didn't even have no money yet. He was just an aspiring dude. But one thing about Diddy, and anybody can laugh, but they can say whatever they want to say. Diddy is a charming nigga. He know how to talk to women. He's always known how to talk to women. And on top of that, he was always dressed. You know what I'm saying? Because remember, if you watch the documentary, he kind of came from money. Like his mother was always a hustler. So Diddy was always dressed. His pops was yeah, Sarah was fine too. His pop, but this was way before Sarah. You know, his pops was a gangster. His mother was getting money. So Diddy was always dressed, even as a little kid. So he can go out to these clubs, whether I see him at the Q Club or I would see Diddy at Latin Quarters or out at Nakasaki in Queens. And when Diddy was out, he looked like a star before he was even a star. So he pulled up on Misa. Everybody was like, this old black nigga ain't getting Misa. So everybody looked around because Misa was the girl that all the niggas tried to holler at. The drug dealer niggas, like she was dating a drug dealer nigga first. Right? She was dating this drug dealer nigga first. And Diddy stepped to Misa. And everybody was like, man, you ain't getting Misa. You ain't getting Misa. So you ain't got enough money to, like they say, you ain't got the money to get Misa. And Diddy walked on over there. Yep, exactly like him. And Ray and Kristen Combs looked just like Diddy. So Diddy walked over there to Misa. This nigga started kicking whatever lie he was kicking. He talking, we like, okay, when she gonna walk away from him? We sitting there like, when she gonna walk away from him? Next thing you know, they going out on the floor for a slow dance. I was like, oh hell to the no. Right? He taking her out on the floor. They doing the I forgot what song it was. Right? But they slow dancing, whatever. I said, ain't this about a bitch? After the song was over, she come back to the table. I was hating. Kenji, listen. I am a man. I am a dude who will admit it. I was hating. I was like, it ain't like I ever had a chance with her anyway. But if I didn't have a chance with her, I'm like, I don't want to see no other nigga get it. And then back then, we was on our light skin, dark skin shit too. I'm like, this old black ass nigga ain't pulling Misa. Right? That's when the light skin niggas was running shit. This is before MC Light put out Roughneck and then the dark skin niggas took over. This is before what's his name? That's the Scorpios, exactly. This is before New York Undercover and before that dude, that dark skin nigga took over from New York Undercover and Chris Webb and them niggas. We was still running shit. Like light skin was still in, right? So he's like, this nigga is not pulling Misa. And she yellow as hell too. This nigga came back, walked her back, holding her arm. They went back out to the floor. dance again. Yo, they dance for like the rest of the night. He got the number. I'm like, oh my God. They're like, oh, we going to the Waffle House? I'm like, oh, he got into the Waffle House, it's over. Because back in them days, it was like, if you leave and like, oh, we gonna go to the Waffle House. If you got her to agree to go to the Waffle House, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. I said, oh shit, she going to the Waffle House, this nigga. Oh, we already know it. That you know, that's what yeah, he listen. You see what Jay said in that record? 12 a.m. at the Waffle House. I tell you, that was the New York shit. If you get a girl to the Waffle House, you're smashing. You're smashing. Because he said, 12 a.m. at the Waffle House. Wait, what was it? 12 a.m. on my way to the club. 1 a.m. DJ made it a rub. 2 a.m. now I'm skipping with her. 3 a.m. now I'm dipping with her. 4 a.m. at the Waffle House. 5 a.m. then she at my house. 6 a.m. I'll be digging her out. And that is how it went. That is chronologically back in them days. That's the way the shit went. So all you had to do is get them to the Waffle House. If you can do that, shit. At the Waffle House, 5 a.m. Now she at my house. 6 a.m. I'll be digging her out. 6:15 now I'm kicking her out. So that was it. Once Diddy got her to the Waffle House, every week after that, and the Q Club, she was with Diddy. I was like, ain't this about a bitch? Ain't this about a bitch? And but he's always been like that. He did the same thing with Kim Porter. Kim Porter came up from Georgia. She was dating Dallas Austin. She came up to New York with another nigga. She had another nigga. Kim Porter came to New York with another nigga. She was dating Dallas Austin. Got up to New York. Dallas Austin was messing, I don't know, this is before he was messing with Chili, or he may have about start messing with Chili. And so he was back and forth. Diddy saw Kim Porter. Kim Porter started messing with I'll Be Sure. But she knew who Diddy was because she went and got a job at Uptown Records. She started dating I'll Be Sure. I'll Be Sure was already seeing Madonna's dancer. I forgot her name. But then I'll Be Sure cheated on cheated on Madonna's dancer with Kim Porter. Got Kim Porter pregnant. But at the same time he got Kim Porter pregnant, Kim Porter has started talking to Diddy, right? Whether she had slept with Diddy already, I don't know. But she has started talking to Diddy. That is how, when I'll Be Sure, when Kim Porter was pregnant with Quincy, before Quincy came out, because you remember, everybody like, oh, how could he deny Quincy? He looks just like him. Before Quincy came out, though, I'll Be Sure was like, nah, that she probably pregnant by that other nigga. She pregnant by Puff. And then what won Kim over was I'll Be Sure was saying she pregnant by Puff. Nah, that's not my kid. She pregnant by Puff. So I'll Be Sure stopped messing with Kim when she was pregnant. Diddy, what won Kim over, Diddy said, I don't care if you're pregnant by him. I'm gonna be there for you. I still want you. Even if this baby, I don't care if you're pregnant by him. I'll take care of you. Because if I want you, I gotta want your baby. And that's what won Kim Porter over. Because I'll be sure was saying, nah, you pregnant by that nigga. That's probably his baby. I'm not with it. Diddy said, Diddy knew it wasn't his kid. But he said, I don't care if you're pregnant by him. I still want you. And that's what won her over. Then when the kid came out, I'll be sure couldn't deny that it was his kid. But then by then it was too late. Kim was like, F you. Because this is the real man. They are. That's a true rumor. That's a true rumor. They are cousins. They're like third cousins or something like that. But that rumor is true. All right. So, hey, Diddy always can talk to women. That's just the way he's been. Now, I love him and Carisha. I think they make a dope couple. Carisha really cares about him. But that damn Gina, man. That Gina won me over. Gina won me over. Now, Gina's batshit crazy. Gina's batshit crazy. So that might be the issue. Puffy might be like, man, I just, I can mess her, but she just batshit crazy. But she held Puffy down because she could have been the victim, and she was like, fuck y'all. I ain't testifying. Get up out of here with that. And everybody on the internet, oh, why ain't you testifying? Oh, she was like, man, get up out. I'm not testifying against my friend. I'm not doing it. But the reason why I said I think they do make a good couple would be interesting. I wouldn't mind him ending up with Young Miami. Like I think they make a really good couple. Just like I always wanted Drake and Nicki Minaj end up together. I thought, everybody's like, I don't know. I could never see Nicki. Like, I always thought they was cute. I always thought they was a cute couple. I liked him with Nicki more than I even liked him with Rihanna. I thought him and Nicki were cute, but hey, what do I know? So, yeah, she, even that is so corny. Oh, even my name is allegedly. Man, shut up. So, we got to wait and see on that toxic case shit. See what she's talking about. I have to go back and take a look at that whole thing with the schizophrenia, whatever. Tomorrow we're gonna be talking about this thing with Jay-Z and the godmother of Ramir. Shouldn't have been talking shit. Everybody getting on Jay. Oh, why does a billionaire need $100,000 from a woman who don't have it? Because she been talking shit. She got my name in her mouth, and I told her to leave me alone. It's not about the money anymore. He don't need the money, but it's about the principle. If you hit somebody in their pocket and they don't have it, what happens is these cases keep getting dismissed. The court keeps getting dismissed, but she just goes to another state and files another case. And then that one gets dismissed. But every single time she files a case, Jay-Z has to pay for his attorney or his lawyer to go and fight the claim. And then they get it dismissed again. And instead of her just saying, you know what, it's not going to work, she goes and finds another state, goes on the internet and talks about, oh, I'm not giving up and this, that, and the third, blah, 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 and then files something else. Well, Jay-Z is saying, if the bitch don't got money to file, she'll stop filing. So that's why he said he wants his attorney fees over $100,000 because I told y'all a long time ago, I ain't that nigga's father. And after a certain age, that's just the law. Sorry if you go by the law. You should have demanded the paternity test before the nigga turned 18 or 17, whatever age it is. But the mother didn't do that. The mother waited until Jay-Z blew up, and now the guy that was on the birth certificate all those years, now she decided to say, "Oh, I was wrong. He's been paying child support all these years. He's not the father. Jay-Z the father." Right? So the bottom line is, old girl should have did that when homeboy was 10 or 11. If Jay-Z was the father of the kid, when the dude was 10 or 11, you should have been saying Jay-Z the father. He would have had to take a paternity test then. He wouldn't be able to dodge it. But after a certain amount of age, all you have to do, if they say, "Are you his father? Is there a chance you're his father?" Jay-Z said, "No, there ain't no chance I'm his father." And if I say that and he's 17 or 18, by law, you don't have to take a test. That's it. And why should I take a test to appease all y'all? Why don't he just take the test and get it over with? I don't got to take shit. I'm not doing nothing to appease y'all on social media. Especially in the climate we living in. I'm a black man. I'm rich. And if I put my DNA out there, what's going to happen in 2 months? Here come the next bitch talking about, "Oh yeah, Jay-Z, he need to take a test because I'm pregnant. He fathered my child." Hell no. If I was Jay-Z, I wouldn't take one either. If I don't gotta take one, you ain't taking my DNA. If I don't have to give you no DNA sample, I'm not giving you one. You should have did this years ago. Oh well. If that's my son, oh well. You should have did this years ago. I am not putting my DNA out there so y'all can come and say, oh, there was a rape 30 years ago and Jay-Z's DNA magically matched. Hell no. Hell no. Hell no. He black too and a bit. Hell no. You're not getting my DNA. You're not getting my DNA. Well, the daughter, yeah, in Jamaica, but he has no way of knowing that. That's just a rumor. That's just a rumor. Now the other girl, right? The girl that went away. Remember there was a girl from Baltimore and she said she was Jay-Z's daughter. Now I believe she really was, because what happened to her? That bitch just bought a mansion. See what I'm saying? That bitch just bought a mansion. She was talking about how Jay-Z was her father, but she went on, you don't need, if he's your father, you don't need a DNA test. Go on Amazon, whatever it's called, Ancestry.com. That's what that girl from Baltimore did. She went on, and on top of that, she had a whole bunch of pictures of Jay-Z and her mother. Then she had her grandmother come on TV and say, yeah, he used to come over here. He used to come to Baltimore all the time. So once she came out, maybe like 2 weeks after she came out, she stopped talking. What happened to her, Ray? Like about 3 months ago, she bought a mansion. So it's safe to say she was probably Jay-Z's daughter, because she was talking about how this, how she's living so rough and this, that, and other. And I got Ancestry.com to prove that he's my father. I got all these pictures of him with my mother, this, that, and the third. And Jay-Z saw that from Baltimore. And plus, the grandmother came on and said, I don't know why he's denying it. I used to have him over for dinner. She showed pictures of her hugged up with Jay-Z. She was like, Sean used to come with the Haven, and they would come here because. And remember, Jay-Z used to sell drugs heavy in Maryland. And that girl, that lady, put out the pictures and everything. After that, Jay-Z probably called her like, "Yo, come to Cali. I'm gonna be sending you $2 million, $3 million, whatever. Sign an NDA. I'll pay you $3 million. You sign an NDA." And then next thing you know, that girl stopped talking. Everybody's like, "What happened to that girl?" Then about 6 months later, she's buying a mansion. Yes, Kenji, that's the daughter Oskino's talking about. But that other one that they're talking about in Trinidad, that's just a rumor. The daughter the son that Free had, that's a rumor. That was never proven. Free said she never had no baby by Jay-Z. The chick in Trinidad, something Scott, that they said the old rumor that Beyonce was paying her $1 million a year to keep quiet or whatever. I don't believe that. That sounds a lot like the Bobby Brown, Whitney Houston story, where it seems like people just took the Whitney Houston story when Whitney Houston was paying Bobby Brown's mistress to shut the fuck up about the baby. The Bobby Brown fathered a child outside of Whitney Houston, outside of their marriage. And Whitney Houston didn't want the news to come out, and she didn't want it to blow up. So Whitney Houston was paying the mistress to keep quiet about the baby. That's the rumor. That's the rumor. So Whitney Houston was paying the child support or whatever, and then she was like, she didn't want it blown up in the media. So it sounds like to me that they took that Whitney Houston story and just threw Beyonce's name in there. That sounds like to me. Because that Whitney Houston story was real. Back then, there was no social media. That Whitney Houston story checked out. And then even Bobby Brown's sister said, yeah, Whitney knew about that baby, and she paid him up. Whitney knew about Janet Jackson too, but he wasn't with Whitney yet when he was fucking Janet. But Janet was married. So Bobby, he may have been seeing Whitney, or he may not have been. But when Bobby was messing with Janet, Janet was married to that Renee dude. Bobby wasn't married to Whitney yet. Yeah, I'm telling you, man, these dudes, I don't doubt it. I don't put nothing past them, but we're going to get into some more stuff tomorrow. I got to spend the rest of my daughter's birthday with her. So we're going to watch some Brady Bunch and shit like that. But, if y'all want to support my channel, please, $Heaven Hollywood. If y'all want to support the boy. All right? $Heaven Hollywood is my cash app. Look over there in about 2 hours, and I hope y'all put $5 in my cash app. But I love y'all. I'll talk to y'all probably tomorrow, man. Been another installment of Heaven Hollywood Experience. Peace.